style. Well, I wish I had a crazy rock opera or a fantasy world to present to you today. I just don't have the creativity to pull off something like that. In all honesty, I'm in a creative desert right now. Last episode, we talked about our future goals. What we want, where do we see ourselves? I took an opportunity to look back at some of our previous entries. And first off, I liked the way that we talked about the basics in episode 10 of season 1.
Hi, Timmy. I hear you want to be a voice actor.
My name isn't Timmy, and why are you in black and white?
Have you been told you have a face for radio?
Actually, yeah, they tell me that my voice is... Wait? Did you say face?
Do you feel like you have a knack for portraying different emotions?
Well, not to brag, but I have been acting for a while.
Do you have a thick skin and able to take criticism constructively and not personally?
Well...
That's swell, Timmy. It sounds like you may be suited for a career as a voice actor.
Still not Timmy.
All you need is...
Yeah?
a good microphone.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A good place to record.
Will this work?
And a passion for creating characters on the spot with little to no information.
Now you're talking.
Also, listening to people that have gone through it could help.
You mean like that Cold Read podcast?
So yes, a mic, ambition, and tough skin from external will keep you going. But as we've warned you, your greatest enemy is sometimes yourself. Here is my interpretation of self-doubt, as we talked about in episode 22 of season 1.
I need to get in there and record something.
Do you honestly think that you're actually worthy of doing this?
You sound awful. Like, this is worse than I thought it was gonna be.
Nothing you do will ever be good enough.
You honestly think this is good? Please. A child could do better than this.
No one is going to like your finished product. Nobody wants to hear your voice. You're a fucking failure.
Terrible.
Oh, that's
He's so old. He's so moody. Now I know where he got his name.
You want to hear the
sorry,
truth about you, Zamoody.
That's just pathetic.
The truth is, even if you did put all that effort in and hard work, even if you did get that big breakthrough and you got everything you ever wanted, no one will even hear about it because nobody except for you will ever care.
You're right. You're right.
Hi. Hey. Hello. First off, stop it. You don't need to listen to that.
Wait, what? Who are you?
Well, let's call me the voice of reason.
So, essentially, I've completely fucking lost it, right?
No. I'm the little voice in your head that most creators, actors, strictly between you and me, really, anybody, suppresses.
Why would we do that?
Well, mostly because you are afraid of failing.
I mean, you're not wrong there.
What you're feeling right now could be burnout, could be stress, or could even possibly be impostor syndrome.
So, what is impostor syndrome?
Essentially, it's you thinking you're not good enough to do what you want to do.
Well, I mean, considering all the feedback I've been getting, aren't they right?
Self-doubt is a big characteristic of imposter syndrome, as well as not giving yourself enough credit, fearing you won't live up to expectations, even going as far as sabotaging your own success. Let's take those voices in your head. They're of people you work with, people you admire, yeah? But you, air quotes, secretly fear failure so much that you've convinced yourself that that's what they're saying about you.
I mean, I know they wouldn't say it to my face, but really, they're just being very nice.
If you keep on the current path, this road could lead to worsening anxiety and eventually depression. But it's good that you're talking about it, even if it is to yourself.
Score 1 for my sanity rating.
Ask yourself this. Do you painstakingly agonize over every little flaw? Any success you have, do you think that you were just lucky or you achieved that by some other factor? Are you very sensitive to criticism?
I mean, who isn't?
Do you feel like you'll be outed as a phony who has no expertise even in areas you genuinely have talent for?
I do now.
Figuring out what type of fear you're having might help you. A few types of imposter syndrome that have been identified are the perfectionist. You're never satisfied with the end product, you always see room for improvement. Instead of seeing where you're really good at, you tend to focus on your flaws. The superhero. Because you feel inadequate, you feel compelled to push yourself to work as hard as possible. The expert. You are constantly trying to learn more and you're never satisfied with how much you know. Even if you're very skilled, you'll still underestimate your expertise. The natural genius. You set super high ambitious goals, but you're crushed when you fail on your first try. The soloist. You are the lone wolf. You only truly feel good when you're being productive and you won't take help from no one. You see asking for help as a weakness.
Wow. I think I fit a couple of those.
Yeah. Well, I know that you already have changed your frame of mind when it comes to not getting a part. You see it as understanding that while your work may have been good, great even, it was not what the director was looking for in that moment.
Yeah, it does help. I mean, I no longer feel like I could have done better, and it helps me to realize that it was not a good fit. That did help me get through some of my hurdles.
Good. See, reframing some of your point of view can help with some of the negativity. Also, finding the passion for what you want to do will keep you going.
Okay, so what else can I do?
I mean, you can always talk to people about your feelings. It's okay to share, and you might find an unexpected ally. What else? Set realistic goals.
So being signed up at an agency in a AAA game by the end of summer is realistic?
I am so glad you asked. Let me just consult with management real quick. Hey! Is being signed by an agency and being a part of a AAA game all within the next 4 months a realistic goal? Does that qualify? No! Okay, thanks. Yeah, it's gonna be a no from me, Chief. Question those voices that you're hearing. I mean, can you really, truly be a fraud with all the experience you've amassed?
Huh, you're right.
Oh, this one's real important. Beware social media. Remember, people only project what they want you to see. People aren't as perfect as you may think, believe me. Don't let it hold you back. Just put stuff out. Try. It is okay if you don't get it, and newsflash, it's even okay if you fail. Finally, most importantly, help others.
Like producing a podcast to help people who are starting out? Or even that may be feeling what I do?
Exactly. Like that Cold Read podcast recorded every Sunday at noon at twitch.tv/Zamoody.
Thanks for the plug.
Anytime, bud.
In the season of new beginnings and resolutions, what's your excuse for not moving forward? Equipment? You don't really need it to start. Just practice. Put yourself out there because you never know what can happen. Your cell phone has a pretty kick-ass microphone, and your closet full of clothes is a great sound booth. Age? Well, I started when I was 41. And if I can get somewhere like I feel that I have, so can you. Time? Well, this one's tricky. Because you may have to let go of some of the other things you may consider necessities. Do you really need to lounge on the couch watching that season of your show on Netflix? Even dedicating an hour just to practice, rehearse, or audition will get you further along than you think. A little sacrifice can be very fulfilling. Money? For what? You can learn a lot from some of the people we've met online. YouTube has a wealth of information. Books are out there talking about acting because, yes, voice acting is just that. Acting. So take that step. Don't be afraid. You'll stumble. You'll grow. You'll make terrible clips that follow you. I'm hit. But if you do it right, you'll have so much fun doing it. Because if you don't have fun, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Now, as we said all of season 1, let's roll tape. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Welcome, welcome. This is Cold Read the Podcast. If you're catching us live or watching us on YouTube or anywhere you can get your podcast, thank you so much. I appreciate you all for being here. That was my intro. I know we did a lot of callbacks. I thought that we wanted to come back to basics a little bit. So hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you feel like checking out those episodes in the past, they're always available online. We have a guest today. So Michelle Goff, we're going to get to you here in just a moment. We're going to check in with the group and see how everybody's doing. It's been a week. This is episode 2, season 3. So let's talk to Renara. Renara, I know you hate that clip that I play on there, but it's so good.
It's just every time I hear myself saying, well, the horrible things, it's like, I don't know, I didn't mean any of it, and I just don't like hearing myself saying those things, because it's just like, never mind. No, first of all, I just want to say I really needed that intro, because this week has been shit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's been tough. I think the best way to describe it is just tough. Getting back into work, dealing with some pain issues with my hip, all of these sorts of things, and getting used to voices.com and like figuring out the kinks of that. It's been a bit of a sort of choppy ride. There's been, because for people who don't know at the minute, and I learned this by doing it not once, twice, but 3 times, with voices.com, when you actually go to, you need to click on reply to the job as soon as you're interested, because I spent a good couple of hours doing different pieces for things. I go to click on that and it says, sorry, they aren't recording, like accepting more audio. And they're going, I just spent an hour on this. Mm-hmm. So I've learned that now. And it was a bit demoralizing, and it was hard. It kept making me go, is it worth it? Am I good enough to be paid for this? I really don't know at this point. But I did my quota. I did 5 this week. I have managed it. It was bloody difficult, I'll say that much, but I told myself I needed to do it. I also stopped myself from burning out, because I set boundaries for myself this week, and I'm pretty proud of myself for it. I sat I didn't do one Monday, and I almost didn't do one Tuesday, and then it got to Wednesday, and I was like, right, I got to knock these out really quickly. I was like, no. I said I'd do 1 a day, and if it doesn't matter, if it doesn't get to 5, that's fine. This week has already been hard as it is. So I just did 1, I did 2, I got to Friday. There were several that actually intrigued me and I wanted to do. So then I managed to get some more out, and it was the end of the week. And I was just sort of like, I set boundaries and I stuck to them. That is actually a big achievement for me right now. So even it's been tough, but I can be proud of making it through to Sunday, I think I'm going to say. So
nice.
I'm not going to say I'm over the moon and happy. I'm tired and I've done a good cry earlier, but I'm woman enough to say that. So I'm here. I made it here. So.
And we thank you for being here.
There.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here, Renara. Well, let's check in with Misty. Misty, how has your week been?
So for me, my main problem has been my day job. It has been an especially tough week with that, since the problem, how that bleeds into my voice acting, is that since I work from home on my PC, if I've had a really stressful work day, or in this case work week, I kind of just can't stand to look at my computer anymore. Yeah. So it's that where it's like, I've been trying to tell myself I want to audition for at least one thing a day. I really want to do auditions frequently, because that's the only way I could potentially get work. But when I've had these days, it's just been so frustrating, because it's a new product launch. It's just been so many problems. And it's like, I just don't want to be here, like editing my audio, sitting here more than I have to. It's just like, so I'm hoping the next week will be better, because I want to get back into it. and it leaves me with a very negative feeling, demotivation.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, unfortunately, I didn't advance to the finals of the Now Voice This competition.
Okay.
But I mean, semifinals for my first try is awesome.
That's great.
And
yeah.
And they are gonna be doing it again. They said maybe February or March, so I'm definitely gonna go for it again, and we'll put my all into it.
Good.
Awesome.
Do it.
Take what you've learned and move forward with it. And you know what? If you need to take a week off, that's fine. Just, go back to it as soon as you can. Don't think that's like, oh, it's going to be so hard for me to get back in there. No, just get in the booth
Learn
and just
to rest.
Yeah.
Learn to rest.
Absolutely.
It'll be there for when you come back.
I'm all right.
Glad to hear it. Dorino, how's your week been, sir?
It's been okay. Nothing at all in regards to voice acting, sadly. I told myself I would at some point during this week get into the booth again because I set it up and got all these sound panels up and all that, and and then nothing came of it because I am too busy trying to brainstorm ideas for my next big secret project. Which I am not going to share any details about because I don't feel like it.
You're fine. Don't set yourself up saying that you're going to make another opera and then have to force yourself to do it.
I mean, it still turned out fantastically.
Exactly.
But, no, it's something entirely different. I can't talk about it. But speaking of the rock opera, if you haven't listened to the rock opera yet, go check it out. It's on Cold Read the Podcast YouTube. Just go to YouTube and look up Cold Read the Podcast, and you'll find it. It's amazing. Also, it has closed captioning now, so you can understand all the weird noises that come out of my mouth. I also showed it to a couple more colleagues at work, one of which is a fucking judge for our county.
Oh, crap.
Okay.
Wow.
And the one song that I thought would be the worst one being song number 5, and if you've listened to it, you know exactly which song I'm talking about. They said that was their favorite one.
Okay.
So
that's the romance song. We'll say that, right?
Yes. Yes, it is the love song. So they called me just to tell me that, and I was like, wow, that's really great, but now I know some more things about both of you, so that's cool. No, otherwise, I mean, it's just been I'm trying to finish up a few things around my new place just to make it a bit homier, I guess. We just got a TV stand which I have to assemble after this is done, but otherwise week has been just mediocre, just trying to brainstorm. But next week, though, I'm definitely getting in the booth at least twice, we'll say.
Well, it's good. Good.
Future Vinny, get in the booth right now if you haven't done it at least twice.
But don't be too hard on yourself. Don't listen to past you. It's okay.
No,
my gosh.
Listen to past yourself and get your ass in the booth. Bitch.
But be kind to yourself.
So we have the question rock opera from Glazed Jesus in chat.
Oh, yes.
I was going to
yes.
Yeah.
You can just go to YouTube after this recording is done. Look up Cold Read the Podcast, and you'll see a rock opera entitled The Counseling, Chapter 3, Balance. It's wild, but I highly encourage you to listen to it because it's a lot of fun.
Wild epic thing.
Yeah.
So for me personally, it's been a rough week. I mean, work has been super busy. We've been super shorthanded. I honestly didn't make it in the booth until Saturday. I did a project for the Star Wars audio drama called The Screaming Citadel, Volume 2. So that's in the can. I'm waiting for them to get that done. J-Show Clips keeps going, so that work is still flowing. Audition-wise, I didn't get a chance. MyVoices.com account's kind of getting wasted. I'm starting to feel bad about having it, but I've got a vacation coming up all next week. Yeah. Hopefully I'll get to try that as being here more often, because like Renara said, sometimes you miss those opportunities because you're not sitting at your desk, you're not close to your booth. So we'll give that a shot. I also got exposed to COVID. I've been testing negative so far. My antigen test is on Tuesday, so I'm sure more to come, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's a sign of the times. What can you say? What can you do? Hey,
Hoping for the best.
There it is, Dorino. Thank you, Dorino. Well, that's enough about us. We have our guest here, Michelle Goff. How are you? Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me on. I'm not bad. You know, I could be better, but it could be worse at the same time. It's usually something I come out with.
Anything specific about your last week? Anything exciting, or are you just surviving like the rest of us?
I'm just trying to get on with things. It's just a typical January. Typical January for me is not much to do other than do auditions and get my YouTube stuff together, and pretty much mostly working.
Gotcha. Well, let's talk about the beginning of all this. So, how did you first get involved with voice acting?
I think when I first started to discover that I enjoyed doing voices was when I was very small. I think I was around 6 or 7, I think. Because I always did silly voices younger, but I never really thought about anything much of it. I just enjoyed doing it. And what me and my older brother used to do was when we were kids, we had these old cassette tapes. Yes, because I'm that old.
Oh, good company.
It's fine, I know them too.
I had a VHS myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did I. We had those old cassette tapes, and we had ones that you could record on. And me and him would record either us doing weird voices and making up silly humor with those weird voices.
Nice.
But most of the time, we would do fake radio shows. And
Nice.
That's cool.
You were in good company, I'll say that.
Yeah.
I was, yeah, because my brother can do voices, but he hasn't pursued voice acting, so it's up to me. So what happened then was got through high school, obviously, and I thought at the end of high school I'm gonna go to college because I realised, oh, they teach acting in college. I'm gonna go and do that when I leave, and so I thought the best way to do that is pass my drama class, because otherwise, you know, they might not let me in.
Yeah.
And the teachers in my high school were very mean to me, and they failed me.
Oh.
And they failed me and passed everybody else.
Oh, what?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Which school did you go to? Jesus.
It was a religious school, enough said.
Oh, I bet. Been there. Oh. Sorry.
But then it tore me up, to be honest. It really tore me up. And I thought, that self-doubt hit, and I said, maybe I wasn't meant to do this. Because if they're saying I'm crap, then maybe I am. So, obviously, you know, 16-year-old, what are you going to think at that age? So I thought, I'll look after kids instead. And spent a year learning how to...
Yeah, we are having a very similar upbringing at this point, I think. I feel same here. Yeah, I know. Oh, must be an English thing.
Yeah, I spent a year doing a childcare course, and I was often put in like schools or nursery locations, helping to take care of young children. And then after a while, I enjoyed it, but after a while, I thought back to like what I was told about my drama, and I thought, do you know what? I miss doing that. And something hit me that said, you need to go back and do this. So I applied to do the beginner's acting course at the college, and I spent the next 4 years doing 3 separate acting courses there.
Ooh.
And passed all of them.
Nice.
And in the first year, I mentioned to my tutor at the time what they said to me in high school.
Yeah.
And he said to me, "Who hired them?" Because he said, first of all, that's mean. And second of all, I've seen you perform in theatre, and you are better than what you've told me of how they describe you. You are better than that. And you can only get better if you keep at it. And I'm going to make sure you keep at it, because I think there's a lot going for you. And that's probably the most encouraging thing I'd heard. So I did 3 courses in the course of 4 years, and I managed to pass all that and get into university. So I did media courses there. And I continued to learn how to act. And I also did radio performance as well, and I discovered my love for doing radio. And after I graduated, I ended up thinking, well, at that point I was thinking, well, now what do I do? I can't act anymore and I'm going to miss the hell out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I was told about, you know when you went on YouTube when you were a little younger, you know how you stopped doing that? And they said, yeah. Why don't you get back on it and do voices or something, or do some performance? And I thought about it, and I thought, do you know what? I used to do voices when I was little. And then I realised, oh yeah, that's a career, isn't it? I thought, I'll do that then. So I've been, how long have I been doing YouTube now? 3 years? Nearly 4. I've been doing voicing over comics mostly, and I've been doing other stuff as well. And about a few months ago was when I thought, maybe I should start, really pushing pushing this into the career path direction. Because I've got an audience on YouTube, which is great, but I'm not selling myself the way I could be selling myself.
Right.
So, how long has it been? It's been nearly a year now since I've been trying to do this in a sort of professional manner. And I have I've got about 4 or 5 jobs now on it that I've yet to do. And I've spent today actually doing a couple of auditions today, funnily enough.
Nice.
So I just keep at it, and then if they say no, I just think, well, okay. I think I've just gotten a bit stronger about it. But if it's something that I think, I really want to do this, I really go like, no, that's not good enough, that's not good enough, that's not good enough, come on, record this, you can be better than that. And I record it to the best I can do and make sure, and I get so paranoid and say, is this sound right? Is that all right? Does that sound okay? Yeah, okay. And then when I send it, I'm like, I really want this so badly. And then if it comes to a point where they say, you're not suitable at this time, that's when I go, oh shit. And I feel so downhearted about it. But most of the time, I'll audition for things, but I've grown a bit of a thick skin now where I just think, if I've not got it, I've not got it, because at the end of the day, you won't get it most of the time. Because it's so competitive, it's so out there. It's amazing how many people really, really are so passionate about this. And in all honesty, I'm amazed how passionate I am about this. And I'm amazed how much stronger I've become, and I'm a bit more confident about it. And I mean, a lot of people who've met me can tell you that I'm one of the shyest people on the planet. I just not good with being confrontational with people, because I'm chatty now, but if you stood in front of me and said, how you doing? I'd be stood there like, oh, yeah, you all right? you wouldn't think of me as doing very much, but behind a microphone, yeah, I'm fine.
It's funny because I think most of us here are introverted. I know I am. Renara, I think, yeah.
I'm a toss up. It depends. It's when do I put my acting face on in front of the children, or do I just hide in my booth for hours on end away from people? So yeah.
We all got that practice of trying to be quote unquote normal, but yeah.
Normal's overrated, guys. Come on. How about we all just go? No, that sounds weird. I was going to say all of us just go to the booth. I'm good. Okay. It's fine.
See
I've
ya.
had
No, Vinny,
tea and caffeine
back
at the
over
minute.
here. But okay, so so you just barely started. Was this more of a COVID thing? Is this more? How did you get to that point? I mean, you went through all the schooling and everything. Sorry, go ahead.
I can't remember exactly when I started, what month or how terribly long ago it was, but it wasn't really a COVID thing that got me going professionally. I wanted to do it before, but I wasn't sure how to do it.
Gotcha.
So I am actually a friend of, the voice actor Sonny Strait.
Name rings a bell.
He played in the English dub of Dragon Ball Z. He played Krillin.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's
cool.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine.
Oh.
And he's basically helped to. He's kind of become a bit of a mentor for me as well, because he's taught me about voice acting in a booth and doing dubbing and things like that. He's kind of given me pointers, and he's taught me a few things about best way to read from a script, how to project your voice properly, how to avoid plosives and things like that. He's really taught me a lot. And we still talk from time to time, just like we type to each other. Like, if I've got a question, he's very happy to answer my question if I'm not sure what to do about something. And he pointed me to somebody who had built his website for him. And he pointed me to her, and I paid her to build me one. So it all kind of comes full circle.
I was about to say, because I've been looking through your website as we've been talking. It's really well designed. It's really nice. I'm gonna link it in chat if anybody wants to take a peek. Also, Zion Craze over in chat says he's Krillin, Usopp, voice of Lupin the Third, and Hughes. I'm assuming that's Hughes from Full Metal.
Yeah, Maze Hughes. Yeah, the one who dotes over his little girl all the time.
It's a good character. Wow. Well, that's good. So you have a good support network that you can go to. That's invaluable. That's great.
Yeah.
So how did you land your first role? Did you just put feelers out, or did you try out somewhere?
I just started to do auditions, and then suddenly one for a video game cropped up that I thought, I'll give it a go, because I thought I can't guarantee. And then suddenly they said, and they said, could you play this character that you auditioned for? And it's a very minor role, but the fact that I got it was honestly like, do you know what? I'm in a video game. I don't care how small it is.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, most of the stuff I've been getting at the moment is minor, but it's like, well, it can only get bigger as it goes along. I just got to keep going.
You have to lay down the foundation before you can start building around it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The last thing you want is to end up in something like a AAA game and feel out of your depth, because then it's all good foundation and build from there.
Right.
Absolutely.
I can tell you now, with my first thing, I think you could probably hear my progression, so through my recordings with it. So yeah, no, I small but steady, one step at a time is what I always say. So
yeah, absolutely.
So equipment wise, how did you gear up? Did you already have some of it? How did that work out?
I started out, when I did my YouTube channel, the only microphone I had was a headset microphone, and we know how great USB headset quality is when it comes to recording.
I know that. Sorry.
Yeah, Renara is
every
known.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My first audition for something was with a headset mic, so I know.
Yeah. I mean, and I've never been one for having a lot of money. I've never really had a lot of money. And I looked up about what equipment I could need to sort of upgrade everything and make it sound a bit more professional. And I got advice as well about from a couple of people, and Sonny as well, about where'd be the good place to start, what microphones they recommend I could get, and how best to sort it out. And they all said to me, if you can help it, don't get a USB microphone because your quality will not be that good. And I was like, well, I already use one. They said, we'll get rid of it.
Hey, they're honest. They're straight to the point. That's good.
True.
Yeah.
And I had to be told, like they said, if you can afford it, upgrade. I said, if you can't, save up, because in the long run, the more you upgrade, the better your quality is going to be. And then I ended up getting my microphone and the wires and the stand, and I ended up getting the little box for the XLR and plugged all that in. None of it was cheap at all, but I saved up and I got it. And I found out that the audio where I am makes it echoey and ruins it. Makes it sound a little bit like dampens it. And I thought, do you know what? I need to soundproof it. And I thought I had because we've only got small houses in Britain, and I don't have a basement. And it's like we could really do with one. So what's happening at the moment is the microphone I'm talking through is the one I use for recordings. And I've bought what's called a Chaotica eyeball, which is an audio isolator. And while it works quite well, it doesn't behind you.
Yeah.
Right.
Very true.
So,
Yeah,
yeah. It isolates to the left, the right, and the back. But where you speak up, it still bounces back to the wall.
Right.
So if you don't have foam, it's not as bad as without it, but it's still, you can still hear that. So I thought, well, what do I do? And I went and one day I went and recorded my demo reel. And it was with another friend I made called Kennedy, and he's a sound producer, and he has his own series that are being made at the moment. And he told me one of the best ways, and he says it sounds cheap and it makes you feel like an idiot when you do it, but one of the best ways to get rid of the background, if you've got nothing else isolating at the time, use a blanket.
I knew that was coming, sorry. I felt that.
Eventually, that's where I had to land as well.
Yeah. I think we've all done that at least once. The whole duvet thing, so yeah.
But what I'm going to do this year, hopefully very soon, is I'm hoping to turn our shed in the back into my own proper little studio.
Ooh.
So
that's yeah.
So I'm gonna have to spend out a bit more, but at the end of the day, more professional, it's worth it,
Yeah.
I've got a studio there as well, plus it locks up and it's got full-on security, so nobody will nick anything. And if they tried, if they tried, I'll know.
Also, this just completely came to mind. I can just imagine, this is because we've got a shed as well, but it's the thing of you can put a sign on the outside for neighbours to go, if you hear anything from here, don't call the police. Voice acting booths do not come here. Everything's fine. Nobody's being murdered here.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put sound panels all over the inside of it. And then I'm going to lock the door, so Now the funny thing is, I don't think my neighbours care if you're being murdered, to be honest.
I think it's a British thing, to be quite fair, because I've done a few things like that too, and I'm there going, why haven't they called the cops at this point? But no, yeah, I agree.
Maybe they're just used to you.
Usually there's cats that lie on the roof of that shed, so they'll be the ones to be going, what the fuck is going on?
Suddenly the cats won't go anywhere near, and they'll be like...
Oh. You'll be recording, and then suddenly you're just going to hear boom on the top.
You do a yell, and suddenly a cat falls by the screen.
And I'm like, wow! No! And then the cat looks in a tiny window and goes, the f...
Yeah, I know. I know half the time, the noises that are coming out of here. Thankfully, yeah, I'm in the same boat. My neighbors don't give a crap. Yeah, especially with Halloween just gone by, with the singing and the screaming. It's just they don't care. Thankfully, I will say cats don't like aluminum foil. So if you line the roof with aluminum foil, they'll probably like jump on and then just immediately right off. And get used to it.
But you could focus the rays and then accidentally burn a hole in something. Just saying, guys.
You're fine. You're fine. Well, good. Okay. Well, that's a very ambitious plan. I'm glad that would hopefully work out for you. As somebody, because the thing right behind me, this is my vocal booth. So MDM wood for the most part. But if you ever get a chance, speaker carpet on the outside really does absorb the sound.
Yeah.
And it's not terribly expensive.
Speaker carpet.
Yeah. So it's a little gray, kind of carpety stuff. It goes on the speaker shelves that go in cars. You can find them online in bulk, and they're real nice for the exterior. So, little bonus tip for you.
Oh wow!
And these you can just find on Amazon. They're like a 30-40 pack. That's what was bought. They're just soundproofing foam squares, and they come mostly in black, white, and red. And you can get several for like about $5. So
yeah,
they're pretty good.
Well, see, you come in here, you get a couple of tips. So
there you go.
So you mentioned
putting some of those in the closet, so we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the closet for the most part, you've already got clothes in there. You're working on fine. Because I know plenty of voice actors that have just done a lot of projects in a closet. Other than saying it's stuffy and uncomfortable, they do absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned your YouTube channel. So what got you interested in doing a YouTube channel?
At first, it was out of curiosity. Then it was because everybody else was doing it. Then it was out of boredom. Then it was I genuinely want to make something out of this.
Nice. Nothing like peer pressure to move you along. Well, good though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you. And again, I usually try to take a look as I'm looking around. So I see a lot of dubbing on here. It's really so you get a lot of practice out of the YouTube channel.
I do, yeah, absolutely. It keeps me going. It keeps me keeps my voice warmed up. Keeps me practicing different accents or voices that I can do, and it's honestly brilliant to get me where I am at the moment. To be honest.
Well, I'm seeing various. I mean, you're not really focusing on one thing. I see Steven Universe. Did I see Pokemon as I was going through a little bit? My Little Pony.
Don't mind us while we all just look up your YouTube channel midstream. Because I'm currently finding it also.
Yeah.
Right.
No, absolutely awesome. So I love asking this particular question only because you never know where it's going to go. So if you had the opportunity to talk to yourself right before going on this journey, what advice would you have for yourself?
I'd just say that don't worry about equipment straight away. Don't worry that you haven't got any money. It'll come as it does. That it comes with time. It comes with experience, and all you can do is work with what you've got. Because if you see the simple things like a blanket, a small USB microphone, even a cupboard or carpeted floor on its own, it makes a whole lot of difference. And work with what you have. And if that's all you can do, you can work wonders with that. But definitely upgrade later on. But for now, you can do just fine.
I absolutely love that. So you recommend invest in yourself 100%. Use what you have just to get yourself started in practicing.
Yeah.
We've all said that at some point here in the show, so it's good to hear that. Obviously you have a Twitter. Are you an active member in the voice acting community out there? What do you think of it so far?
I look on Twitter. I look a lot for auditions when I started out. And I share a lot of stuff that I like that has nothing to do with voice acting most of the time. Or I'll just randomly say what I'm thinking and feeling. I'll try not to be too negative because I was kind of warned against that. But,
gotcha.
But if I don't feel too great and I've got no one to talk to, sometimes I'll say, "Well, this happened and oh god,
Yeah.
But I try not to be negative. But if it happens, it just does, and it's quite rare. But any other part of the time is when I've got a new YouTube video up, I'll put a little preview clip of it and put the link to it. And I'll say stuff like, "Oh, I'm going to go live on Twitch and I've got this going on. Here's my demo reel," which is the pinned one. I'm really pleased that people still look at that actually, and I don't know because I think, oh well, it's a good demo reel, but obviously I don't expect it to be perfect, but it's that idea of when they say, "Oh, don't compare yourself to another actor because no two actors are the same." It's hard not to sometimes.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. How long ago did you do your demo reel?
I did it about, I think it was just almost a year ago now.
Okay. So you were fairly close to the beginning of your career through all of this?
I was, yeah.
Okay.
I need to do more demo reels later on, but they're not cheap and I do need to save up for them.
Gotcha. So I know you had yours professionally mixed. Did you do most of the recording in your equipment or did you go somewhere to get it done?
Oh, I did it in my room studio.
Gotcha.
The one that I'm able to use and stuff. But hopefully this year I'm gonna get a proper one built, so I'll be able to feel a little bit more comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
I can recommend someone who is very good to work with who did my demo reel. He's really lovely. If you look up Jeff Leeson on Twitter, we've had him on the show before. He's very fair. He he will leave the creative process. Most of the, like, it's your decision on what you want where, and he will happily accommodate any and all most things. He's really lovely, so I would recommend him for if you're looking for someone. So
yeah.
Also very active on Twitter. He does a lot of projects. I love he does little community projects, which is also super nice. So yeah, definitely if you have a chance, yeah, check him out, give him a follow. He's a super nice guy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I know, like, we talked to Saturday Morning TV. I don't know if you're aware of that particular area over in TikTok. Have you expanded out in TikTok when it comes to the VA stuff?
I haven't really. I've put some things on my TikTok, but they're not all 100% voice related. A lot of the ones I've put on is because I've recently learned to do animating in Source Filmmaker, funnily enough.
Ooh.
Oh,
cool.
You just got Dorino's attention.
Yeah.
And I've done like little short clips to do if, like, if I found any spare time, I'll sometimes, if I feel like I want to animate something or I've got an idea, I'll just put that on Steam and I'll just do that. And I just put like these little animations. I've got they're actually on my second YouTube channel as well. I put them on there as well. And it's they're just like little moments where like I'll find an audio that I think's funny and I think I know how that might look animated, and I'll just do that.
Nice.
Sure.
Good idea.
That's an awesome idea. I mean, and when it comes to social media and stuff, the more original the idea, the more it gets stolen. I mean, the further that you get along with stuff. So, yeah.
Sorry, what was that, Zamoody?
Oh, nothing. Sorry, just the cough. So, and we've talked about advice that you'd given yourself. So now let's turn this around and say you meet a stranger who approaches you and says, "Hey, I love your stuff. What do you think? How can I get into what you're doing?"
How can I think and how can I get into what you're doing? I've not had. I think I've had one person ask me that before.
Mm-hmm.
And the best thing I said to them was, if you have a microphone, it doesn't matter what microphone you have. If you can record, practice doing voices, practice breathing. Keep doing it. And if you can afford any classes with anybody or join a community, definitely do that because you'll learn a lot more than you think you will. Because it's like what they often say in the community. Just because you've hit professional does not mean you know everything, because you still learn things and they still advise you to take classes.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I would take more classes if I could afford to, but I'm definitely open for them.
I love that piece of advice. I think we're going to have to keep that one and as Raven Main says, steal it and use it. So thank you for that. Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any opinions on like Casting Call Club or have you ever had a chance to use anything like that?
I used to find a lot of my auditions on a Casting Call Club. I do find a lot on there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also on a Discord server called Casting Call Bot, which is a Patreon server.
Oh yes, I've heard of it.
Yeah, and they send up loads of jobs nearly every day, and you can take your pick then. And like if say like they'll say directly what it's for. Like I come across one where it said we're looking for a female to voice in this. I was like, ooh, and then it said we need a Latina actor. I was like, okay, it's not for me. So I was like, okay. I was like, all right, next one. And then I look and I go like, we need a male, not me, next. Stuff like that. It's just easy to flick through, and it's easy to like see who's acceptable for what they're looking for, what specific gender, what specific ethnicity, accent. It's so easy to find, and then you can decide like, am I suitable for this? Because I look at it and I think, right, I need to think about my ethnicity, I need to think about my gender, I need to think about my experience and what accents I can do. And then read and then think about, can I do this? And most of the time, if I'm not out of, what they're asking for, I will give it a go. I will absolutely try it.
Nice.
No harm in trying.
Yeah, absolutely not. It must be nice to, have something that'll just sort that out for you. I mean, I haven't heard of this one, Misty. I'm sure we'll talk afterwards.
Yeah. The thing with that is I'm on a couple of servers that have like casting calls and stuff, and that one came up, but they mentioned that you do have to like be a patron. You do have to like pay a little bit to have access to that, right?
Well, I mean, they've got to make money somehow, so.
Yeah.
It's only $3 a month if you want to take part in it. Yeah.
I'm considering it because any sort of way I can have that streamlined to me would be great.
Right.
I can understand that. Yes, absolutely. So voice how about voice actor club? I believe that's the voice acting club, I should say. That's the other Discord.
Yeah. I'm a member of that as well. Yeah, I have been for a while. I found a lot of auditions through that. But one thing I've found since starting the casting call bot, a lot of auditions that come from there will go into that as well.
Right. Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
the more coverage, the more things that they'll get to audition for it. So it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I see that you're credited for a couple roles. Do you have a favorite role?
I don't know if I have a favorite as such, but I think part of me is in some of the ones that I'm listed in, I'm not 100% sure where the NDA lies on them right now. If I can talk about it,
I wouldn't.
We got it.
Yeah, because we don't want to get you into trouble.
Yeah.
How about what's the one that you missed that you would have loved to get?
Oh God, I've done that many. There was a video game audition recently for a game called Doomsday Paradise.
Ooh.
And I didn't get that. I didn't land anything in that. But I did audition to be the voiceover in the trailer, so we'll see what happens with that.
Ooh. So for the most part, sorry, go ahead.
But I'm not in the game, but hopefully I might be a voice in the trailer, so we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, I mean that still counts. Yeah, absolutely.
Always good.
So do you mostly aim most of your work towards character side or commercial side?
It's mostly character at the moment, but I have been thinking lately I should go for more commercials as well, because I was always told in uni that I had a voice for commercial, because a lot of people, even some people say to me even now, when they said I should do audiobooks too, actually, because they've said when you tell stories, I feel so soothed listening to you speak. And I'm like, how?
Well, and that could be my follow-up question. Have you gotten used to your own voice? Because I know a lot of people just aren't.
It took me quite a while, but yeah, I'm probably going to say safely, yes, I am used to it.
Now, are you like me? Because I hate it in an actual finished product. I hate listening to myself.
I've not heard myself in a finished product yet, so we'll see.
Okay. Yeah. Well, hopefully I didn't put that idea in your head.
I will interject slightly.
Yeah, by all means.
Sense, on the topic of if you ever wanted to, this is my advice for people who want to do audiobooks, because I started doing YouTube. I did YouTube not knowing what I wanted to do, and then I decided just off the cuff that this book series that I love, I was just going to do an audio drama of it and release it chapter by chapter. If there's ever like a short story or a book or something, just put like maybe the first chapter on YouTube and see how people react to it, and two, whether you enjoyed the process. And if you enjoy the process, you can do more just as practice for your YouTube channel. Because I know, well, I'm dyslexic, so I find it very difficult to do long periods of speech without breaking it down. So the way I've literally improved from my reading is by doing it chapter by chapter. So if you're ever interested in trying to practice that without repercussions, just because I've seen your YouTube channel and it looks great. You've got a great following there. So just give a couple, like maybe do some Reddit posts or something like that, because we were discussing that in the sense of like maybe we should do not creepypastas but like short stories that are released in the domain, things like that. So I would advise if that's where you want to stretch out to, that is my 1 cent on the matter. And I can hear the rambles thing in the background almost. It's coming. I know it's
rambles.
There it is. I have a jingle for it. I'm so sorry. It happens at least once. I will be silent now for the rest
you're
of
fine.
the
Oh my gosh.
It will never go, Zamoody. It will never go. What? Maybe when we're in like season 23 or something.
It's not like I actually turned up the volume just to make sure that it went through this time. So Michelle, on the thought of audiobooks, I mean, obviously, Ren, you've got a great idea. Have you tried ACX yet?
I don't think I've heard of that.
So ACX is the audiobook producer from Amazon, which everything goes pretty much into Audible. So they hold auditions in a way of, here's a piece of my book, read it off to me. It goes to the author. They listen to it, and if they like you, then you get either your choice of royalties or by the hour, or sometimes a mix of both. Their quality level is super, super high, to the point where like an hour is going to take you 4 hours to edit and take out the breaths and everything else. So it's super delicate. So you have to be really used to being on it. And it's kind of a lottery shoot, because if the book does great and you chose royalty, you're going to do really well.
Yeah.
If it's, then, so something to look into, something to consider.
Yeah.
And it's just, I believe it's acx.com, right?
Yeah, I found it.
Yeah.
The thing that scares me about that is like the insane audio quality requirements and stuff. Because like, I'm not sure if I'm ready for something that strict just yet.
Yeah. So breaths, pops, anything, any background noise, that your stuff can get rejected, and they're super, super delicate about it. I know I've tried it a couple of times, and I'm too much of a perfectionist, and it would take me way too many hours to do.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I only have one question for you before we wrap up here. What is your favorite pizza topping?
Every time.
I don't eat pizza.
Ooh, nice. I love that answer.
My follow-up question is, why the hell not?
Apparently when I was very young, I used to love pizza, but then I grew out of it and I don't like eating it.
Fair enough.
It's fine.
All right. You had a question, Misty?
I also noticed you have a plush of your OC, which I think is absolutely adorable. I saw it on your YouTube channel. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, she's lovely. She's very sweet, and I love her.
I can tell you just turned around to grab the plushie.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, absolutely.
I also have one question. If out of all of the projects that you've done so far, can you remember one line or a piece that you did that will stick with you for the rest of your career? Like something you either really enjoyed doing, or it will just stay in the back of your mind whenever you do a job or something like that.
I'm gonna be honest right now, no, but I don't doubt it will happen.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But I will let you know when it does.
Okay.
That works out great. Oh, Glaze Jesus says, Shelly, no. Thank you so much to our guest, Michelle Goff. Website is michellegoffva.com. Look her up on Twitter, Shelly_Kitten_. Thanks for being here. This was awesome. We love hearing the journeys of everybody coming through.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It's so weird how just similarly things. Just again, sorry.
Yeah.
Renara, do you have a long lost sister, or like what's going on?
Who knows? We've both been told by drama teachers that we were both not good enough. We both did media at university. Oh my god!
Both of your stories were eerily the same.
Yeah.
Like I might base my next project on this.
Oh my gosh!
Episode right here.
I did also go to a religious primary school, so
having their lives.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, just to remind you all, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, any topic ideas that you would like for us, please email us, coldreadthepodcast@gmail.com, coldreadthepodcast@gmail.com. We'll also listen to your audio. So if you have an audition, if you have a demo reel, if you have something that you just want us to discuss, send it over, email us. We'll be more than happy to look it over. And we always give constructive criticism, because you've heard us criticize each other. That's basically what we would expect from you. Sometimes it's hard to hear, but it does help us grow. So don't be afraid to listen to it. The last thing I will say is if you want to be a guest on here, please contact Eldurrino on Twitter or join our Discord. The link is going to be right in the description of this video. We'd love to hear from you. We'll talk to you. We'll do whatever we can. I see Matt on here. Matt, thank you so much for being here. We're looking forward to working with you in the future. We have a project that we're hopefully going to get moving on. So thank you so much. Any last comments? Any last questions before we go, Renara?
Okay, fine. One day I'll forget. Can I remember what it is? Oh, it's been a while. I've had really strong painkillers recently. Oh my god. Okay. One was continue to make the stuff that you enjoy. Learn to rest and make sure to set boundaries for yourself. And keep going one step at a time.
There it is.
And eventually you will get to where you want to be. Your dreams are not unattainable. Just be patient with yourself and you will get there. Learn to rest, but do not stop. Everyone. That's what I'm saying. And you do not need permission from anybody to create, but you do need permission to get royalties and earn money from, but you do not need permission to create something that you enjoy. If it's for the fun of it, then do it, because creativity should be shared. There we are. I've done my thing.
Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. We will catch you all next time. And that's a wrap. Bye-bye.
Drink water.
There it is.